How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to continue working on our Gorgar. Last episode I did everything, we got everything all done underneath. I went ahead and put all my rubbers on, put the play field all back together except for all the plastics, because we have to do some work on the plastics before we can put them on, along with the apron. I know everybody has seen me put these play fields back together enough, so I figured we would, or I would, just go ahead and get everything put back on it. I take my time to actually video it. You know, it takes too long. I clean everything up, all the posts and everything, and I just kind of work through it slowly, getting everything all put where it belongs and make sure all my rubbers are in the right place. And you know, I can just kind of do it at my leisure. So I went ahead and just got it all done up and figured we would work on plastics in this episode. We'll work on our plastics, getting them ready to be put back on, and if there's time, we'll start working on getting the back box all squared away, getting it kind of cleaned up, and get our molding put in for our back glass, and you know, get it painted, and we'll finish painting up the back box and get a bunch of it done. On this side we have quite a bit to do on this side to get it, you know, just looking a little bit more presentable. The cabinet itself, I may go ahead and we may do some little bit of touch up on it. This side I worked on it a little bit, and I got some of the black done, and that was just because I had paint on my brush. This side I went ahead and touched up all the black and got it all squared away so it looks fairly presentable. Maybe a few spots left to do. I don't know if I'm gonna try the white. The red, I have one bad spot that I'm kind of working on, and that's this one here. I think that's a burn mark, and I'd like to at least get that one done in red. It'd be nice to do all the white and everything. We'll see when we get to it, if I actually want to do it, which I do. The mold, we got a little bit of yellow mold here, and there's some black mold on the back box. The back side of it, we can go ahead and wipe that down to the best we can. Everything else looks pretty good except for maybe run a vacuum in it. But at least like to get all the mold off of the face here, so it kind of brightens up the back glass quite a bit. I think we still have some touch up to do on the back glass. We'll see when I get it out to see where we need to put this. There's kind of a line up here where it was painted with the molding already on it, but it's going to be kind of hard to see on the back side to put. What I'm doing here is, like I told you before, is I'm just going to use a piece of square stock up in there. And I don't know, I'll see what else I have. I'm going to put that up in, and then, you know, once you paint it black, it's not going to be real noticeable up there. They had this corner molding on it, which, you know, doesn't look too bad, and then it wouldn't look too bad if they would have painted it black. then it wouldn't have been real noticeable. But I noticed it and I didn't care for it, so it's getting changed. But first thing we need to do is work on plastics. Is get our plastics all squared away so we can get them put on, and then the play field will be done. So I'll get you set up and we will start playing around with straightening out some plastics. I have them right over here. Washed them up. Yeah, there's a few of them that really need some help. The slingshots, you know, we'll get those, both of those kind of straightened out. That one, yeah, see, we got a little bit of a oop-de-doo in it, so we'll probably work on that one too. This one's not actually too awful bad, but no, I'll work at it and we'll get it squared away. That one's not bad at all. Just a little bit. This is the one that we're really going to have to work on. This is the one that's broke. You can see that one is pretty warped up there, right where it's broke. As Joe would say. Ron asked Joe, "What's wrong with it, Joe?" "It's broke." If you don't know who I'm talking about, that's from Joe's Classic Video Games on YouTube. I watch Ron do all his repairs on all his machines. And his brother Joe, he always asks Joe, "Customer brought it in. What's wrong with it, Joe?" "It's broke." So there's your high technical skill there. But no, those guys are really great. I learn a lot from them. So we'll work on our plastics and get them squared away. And like I said, this broke one, I kind of have a couple of ideas what we're going to do to get it put back together. I don't know, you know, you really don't need to, but I want to see if I can get that a little better, at least in one piece again. If you watched me do the dust cover on a Technics turntable, then you can get an idea as to what I'm going to do. So let's get set up and start getting to work on getting these plastics straightened out, and then we'll attack that one after we get it straightened out and see if we can't get it put back together to where it looks halfway decent. Alright, let's see if we can get these plastics straightened out. Most people know that I have a hot air rework station. I have two of them. After I closed the store down, I brought my other one out, and I have it set up over here on my other bench. This bench I brought from the store. Let's see, that's only at 300. Let's bump this up to about 350. Oops. 400 will do too. And I don't have the soldering station set up on it. I just have the hot air, the rework station set up right now so we can... Yeah, that's still not very warm. Let's see. Okay, 480 as high as it'll go. I'm going to bump that all the way up. Just you have to be careful when you have it really hot. There's a couple of different ways you can do these. You can heat them up. Heat them up in the oven, I guess, if you want. I always use the rework station here. and you have to be really careful that you don't keep it in one spot too long. I'm sure I've told everybody that numerous times. But if you do, it'll these rework stations are made for melting solder. So naturally, you know, it's going to get really hot to melt solder. So you want to be really careful as to not to hold it in one spot for too long, or it will melt it. And we don't want it to melt. We just want it soft enough that we can flatten it out. And see that it's flattening itself out all by itself. The stress, it's relieving the stress, the heat. And it's softening up enough that it's just laying right down onto my board. And we'll set our weight on it and kind of let it cool a bit so it holds its shape. The one we just did started out like that. And of course my battery is flashing because I didn't forget, because I forgot to change it before we got started. Alright, that should be cool enough. And there you go. Nice, flat plastic. Alright, I gotta change my battery. And then we'll continue on with this endeavor. Alright, fresh battery. You know, it's a shame that, you know, a lot of these plastics get changed or thrown out just because they're warped. Now, missing, you can see. Missing, yeah. I can see changing them if they're missing. And even some of them that are broke, they do need changed. But some of them that are broke, you can fix them well enough. You know, it depends on what you're going for. If you're doing a full restoration and you know you want it to look brand new, yeah, then by all means you go with new plastics. But you know, if you're just making a player's game, you know, that so people can enjoy, they're not, you know, faded so bad you can't tell what they are, yeah, then fix them. So you can reuse them. And you know, I think I looked at this set, and when it's available, it's, you know, like $169, $159. And you know, if you can save that kind of money on plastics, you can put that in something else on the machine. You know, maybe if you want to do LEDs or something, you can put that money into LEDs. But I try and fix as many of these as I can and save them. I mean, these are the originals, from what I can tell. If they're the originals, then you know, you try and save them. But you're not, you know, there's a lot of them that you can't save, that they're just way too bad to save. But I try and save as many of them as I can. You know, there's some of them, some of the machines I get in that are missing plastic, so I have to if I can't find a good used plastic for the one that I'm missing, then I will buy new ones. But even if I can get you a good used one for the one that I'm missing, I will. Just a lot of money. I mean, if you have the time, then fix them. Normally I fix as much as I can on the machines. I mean, you can get into so much money fixing these. I mean, you know, like our play field on Gorgar, you know. We could have went with either a brand new play field or a hard top or a decal or whatever the hell they are. But you know, for what little bit is missing, and you know, I'm no artist, that's for sure. I can make them look decent, I think, anyway. So if you can make them look decent, you know, and you're happy with it, then who the hell cares what anybody else says? You know, you're not here to, or at least I'm not here to please everybody else. I'm here to please myself, to make a machine look the best that I can with what I got. Now rubbers, yeah, you gotta change your rubbers. But playfield, you know, let's see, you just finished watching Star Trek, and by far that was the worst playfield that I had done. And you know, I think it came out pretty decent. Now I'm sure there's going to be some haters out there, or somebody out there that's going to say, oh, that looks like total, you know what. Well, I'm happy with it, and as long as I'm happy with it, then they should be happy with it. Because in the end, the only one that you have to please is yourself. There's always going to be critics out there that no matter what you do, they don't like it because either, for one, they can't do any better. They may say, oh, I could do better, but yet they don't. They don't even do it. You know, they'll just automatically put a playfield on it. Look for a better playfield. But no, I'd rather fix what I have. For starters, I don't have thousands of dollars to put into new parts on these. You know, most of my money's going into the arcade, and as long as the machines play good and look decent, then that's what they're gonna be. And put it this way, if you don't like it, go watch somebody else's channel that you like. I know there's people out there that can touch those playfields up and make them look immaculate, like nobody's ever done anything to them. Like they haven't even ever been touched up. And then I clear coat them, because whatever is left on them, I wanna save. And if I clear coat them, then they'll they'll stay, you know, we'll keep what is on them. This one's a little bigger piece, so it has to, I have to heat it up a little bit more than usual because you're heating up so much of it. And usually right around the screws too. They get really weirded out there. That's where they seem like they want to warp. And a lot of that I can't get out because you have to put too much heat to them, and you end up melting the screw holes. So I said you could, you know, if you had a little toaster oven, that'd be perfect. If you could set it at a temperature that will soften the plastic but won't melt the plastic, and you can heat them up in a toaster oven or your oven, and you see once you start heating them up, they will start laying flat because that's the position they want to return to, because there's stress on one side or the other, and that's usually what shrinks them. Is they start drying out on one side or the other more, and then they'll start warping. And you heat them up, and they want to naturally go back flat with gravity. Still a little bit right around that screw hole. You know, some of my machines, I have a lot of time in them. And I don't mind putting the time into them. If you enjoy doing what you're doing, then time doesn't matter. Time passages. Buy me a ticket to the... something like that, yeah. Buy me a ticket on the last train home tonight. Yeah, I know I can't sing. I can't even carry a tune in a bucket. I'll see how this one turns out. I got a couple other ones I have to do, and then we'll tackle that really nasty one and see what we can do with it. That's the big one that goes up around the spinner. That's the one that we have to really work on and get that one so we can get it put back together. But there's no sense in watching me do every one of these. You get the idea. Okay, I'll work on a couple more of these, and then I'll bring you back when we do that real bad one. We'll do that one together and see if we can't get it put back together. Okay, I got to thinking about this. Since the paint on these plastics is on the underside. I kind of hate to put anything, melt anything in to hold it together, because it's gonna screw up the paint on it. I hate using any glue because you get it all gummed up at the top, and it looks like hell too. So I think what we're going to do is, when I get this straightened out, we'll put it on the machine and see how close it is. If it's close enough, and we can get it pushed together and screwed together, I think we'll leave it the way it is. And not worry about the little bit of a crack in it. What I wanted to do was, on the bottom side of it, was take some short pieces of nail or something and melt it in the back underneath, to hold the plastic together. But these do not flap around, so I may just kind of leave it alone. If I can get them to come together close enough once we put them on, we may just leave it that way, because it's not real noticeable. There's enough screws in these to hold it in place. It's not going to sit there and flop around while you're playing. So I do believe that's probably going to be the best bet, instead of screwing something else up. I kind of wanted to do something to hold them together, but I don't know. Maybe could probably try a little bit of super glue, but I don't know if I want to do that either. Can epoxy them, but like I said, you got to really be careful, or you end up with a big gob of bubbled up glue on the top, and that looks worse than a crack. I'd rather have the crack instead of a big goober of glue on it. The other half, we got a little bit of a whoop-de-doo there out on the end there. Yeah, we can flatten that out some too, and that'll be hard to try and straighten that out where it's broke, because we have our standoff there. But we'll give it the old college try. Let's see, how'd we do? Yeah, it's not too bad. A little bit there. It's still, yeah, let's. This was the worst one here. It was this one edge. Pretty good. Now, if you're wondering how hot this heat gun gets, that's how hot it gets. Like I said, these bigger plastics are a little harder to to get flattened out really nice, because you have to heat up such a big area, and when you're done heating one little area and you're moving, it's cooling off in one area while you're trying to heat up more. So most of the time I get them the best I can, as long as they don't look like a bowl. And it doesn't take long for them to cool off, so they hold their shape. I really hate heating them from this side, because that's the paint side. And when you heat up on the paint side, you have a tendency to want to blister and bubble the paint. So I try and stay away from it as much as possible, but sometimes you have to. You have to heat it up on the paint side, just because of the way it's warped, and it just will not straighten out any other way. So you just have to be a little bit more careful on the other side when you're heating up the paint side. There we go. And let that cool down a little bit. Okay. And it's still pretty warm and malleable. You can even straighten them out a little bit. There's where we're broke. Lay these two down flat. We'll see. Alright, let's take this one over. See, this is the one that goes on the back you off a little bit so you can actually see what the hell's going on. There. And that one goes up there in the corner. May still have to do a little bit of work on that, on this one. Yeah, because there's no, we have a screw here, and it's going to be lower than this. Alright, let me see. I'm going to work on that a little bit more and see what I can do about getting it a little straighter. Alright, that's it. Well, we got our play field all put together now. Got all of our plastics on. You can see I went with the little black rubber nubbins to hold our plastics down. Here's our crack up here. The plastics have shrunk a little bit. But, you know, you're standing down here, you don't even know that that's pretty close to, but you can't even tell that that's cracked up there in the corner. But all of our plastics are on. They're all fairly straightened. Notice I said fairly straightened. You know, you can straighten them the best you can, but you're not going to get them perfect. But they turned out good. And let's see. Yeah, Gorgar speaks. Yeah. You can see we've got some work to do. Okay, our bumpers aren't scoring. Drop targets didn't come back up. Okay. So I think that's probably... Alright, so we're in pretty good shape. We need to do some troubleshooting, but we need to do this, get this all taken care of first. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if this one's been long enough or not, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that back box, the board and all that. Yeah, maybe I'll save that for another video because there's quite a bit to do there. And we'll get the back glass out and probably have to do some touch up on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you on the next one when we're working on our back glass and our back box and get some cosmetic stuff done on this. So until next time, see ya.